Ordering custom band folders sounds simple until you actually have to place the order. Suddenly you're comparing models, trying to figure out whether embossing matters, wondering if numbering is worth it, and hoping your logo will actually help instead of just making the wrong folder look nicer. And one bad choice can create the problem fast. You can end up with folders that do not hold enough music, feel bulky in daily use, or all look identical when you're trying to track them after rehearsals and performances. Most buyers start with the imprint. That is usually the mistake. The smarter move is to make two decisions in order. First, choose the right folder model, and then choose the customization that solves the right problem. So in this video, we'll compare the main folder models first, explain what embossing actually means, and then break down when names, repeated text, logos, and numbers make sense so you can order with confidence. The first decision is the model. That matters because the model changes how much the folder can hold, how it sits on a stand, how secure it feels in transport, and how practical it is for everyday use. If you start with customization before the function, you can end up improving the appearance of a folder that was never the right fit for your ensemble in the first place. A simple way to think about it is this. If your players carry a lot of charts, the pro band or swing band style usually makes the most sense because it's built for higher capacity. If your ensemble works with larger symphonic scores and you prioritize secure transport, the professional orchestra folder is the stronger fit. If you need durable, practical, more budget-friendly option for daily school use, the Classroom Band and Orchestra folder is often the better choice. And if you want the classroom style with a front flap pocket variation, that fills a more specific use case. So before you think about logos, names, or numbers, ask one question first. What does this folder need to do every day? Once you know the models, the comparison that matters most is usually capacity versus portability. This is where buyers get tripped up when they shop by appearance instead of workload. A folder that is too small becomes frustrating very quickly. Music sticks out, pages bend, charts overflow, and the folder stops feeling useful. But a folder that is bigger than you need can also add bulk your players notice every time they carry it. That is why the pro band style stands out when players need room for a heavier chart load. The Classroom Band and Orchestra style goes the other direction. It is slimmer, lighter, and practical when maximum capacity is not the priority. It still holds about an inch thick of music. And this model also comes in school colors of red, dark green, blue, and concert black. Then the professional orchestra folder solves a different problem by focusing more on score size and secure transport. It's 15 inches high, so it won't fit easily into school backpacks. It is also the only folder in today's lineup with black metal reinforced corners. Orchestras are often the most strict about keeping everything looking black on stage. So do not ask which folder looks best on its own. Ask which folder matches the amount of music your ensemble actually carries and how your group actually uses it. For example, if a jazz player is carrying multiple charts to rehearsals and gigs, capacity matters fast. If an orchestra member is transporting larger sized music and you want the contents to stay secure, protection matters more. The top flap keeps music from falling out. If a school program is handing folders out every day across multiple classes, then durability, simplicity, and optional color differentiation between groups matters more than either of those other things. Now, let's clear up one of the biggest points of confusion: getting your folders embossed. A lot of buyers talk about embossing as if it were like the main decision. It's not. Embossing is a method. In other words, embossing is how text, a logo, or numbers get stamped onto the folder covers. The real decision is what you want embossed and why. Once you separate those two ideas, ordering gets much easier. You are not really deciding whether embossing matters in the abstract. You are deciding whether the folder needs a name, repeated text, custom logo, sequential numbering, or some combination of those. That is the part that affects how the folders function within your ensemble. From there, the customization becomes a lot simpler because each option solves a different problem. Student names are great when a student is issued a folder to keep. It's theirs. Instrument names are embossed on folders when each player needs to quickly identify a specific folder according to the part they play. For example, the tenor saxophone 2s, grab one that has that label, third trumpet, etc. Another option for student names or instrument names is the Classroom Band and Orchestra folder with front flap pocket. This front flap pocket is sized for a 3x5 card, which can be replaced each year as your band and orchestra's instrumentation changes. Hint, the flap pocket can also hang over the player's stand, allowing you, the teacher, to see the students' names more easily. It has a double purpose. Repeated text means that the same wording appears on every folder. That works well for a school name, church name, or ensemble title when you want a unified look across the whole group. A custom logo is mainly about visual identity. It gives the folders a more polished, professional appearance and helps the ensemble look more intentional on stage. Sequential numbering solves a different problem entirely. It helps with issuing folders, tracking music, spotting missing folders, and replacing old folders without losing your system. This is the mindset shift that makes the order form much easier to fill out. Do not choose customization based on what looks the most impressive impressive. You'll regret it. Choose it by asking what problem you are trying to solve. Do you need a faster player identification? Do you need consistent group branding? Do you want a stronger onstage presentation? Or do you need a better way to manage shared folders over time? Once that is clear, the right customization becomes much easier to choose. And in many cases, the best answer is combining more than one option. This is the point where custom folders stop being decorative and start becoming operational. For schools, churches, and larger ensemble programs, folders are usually not just personal accessories. They are shared assets. That means logos and numbers do more than change appearance. They can make the whole program easier to run. A logo helps create identity. It gives the ensemble a more polished presentation and reinforces the group's name every time the folders come out on stage, like a uniform for an athlete. But numbering helps behind the scenes. It helps you issue folders, see who has what, spot what is missing, and replace folders without guessing. That matters more than people expect, especially when a lot of music is moving between rehearsals, classrooms, performances, and different staff members. It is much easier to say, we're missing folder 27, than we're missing one of the black folders with the gold logo. So think of logos as a presentation tool and numbering as a management tool. One improves how the ensemble looks, and the other improves how the ensemble runs. And when you use both together, you get folders that feel professional in performance and are practical behind the scenes. So what does this look like in practice? If you are ordering for a school band where folders are shared year after year, start by choosing the model that fits daily use. Then think seriously about numbering. A logo can still look great, but tracking usually matters more first. If you are ordering for a community ensemble where players tend to keep one folder, names or instrument labels may be more useful than numbering. If you want every folder to match for concerts, ceremonies, or formal performances, repeated text or a logo can give you that unified look. Several fonts and font sizes are available. And if your ensemble carries a lot of music, do not compromise on folder capacity. Function still comes first. By this point, the ordering strategy should feel much simpler. Custom band folders are really two decisions, not one. First, choose the model based on how much music it needs to hold, how it will be used, and how important transport security is for your ensemble. Then, choose the customization based on what you need it to do. Identify, brand, track, or some combination of all three. That is how you get folders that look right and work right. For swing bands playing a 4-hour gig, the answer is pro band capacity. For others, it will be orchestra-style security or a durable classroom option with the right mix of names, logos, or numbering. Visit mymusicfolders.com to compare options, leave a comment with your ensemble type or question, and subscribe to the channel for more practical buying guides like this.